Hello there, friends, and welcome back to the Trent and Zyori podcast, episode number 175. They just keep going. We've got the major coming up in about 10 days' time, and we're back again to highlight, well, maybe a couple of those things and talk about all the latest. Since another 2 weeks have gone by, Trent, my friend, how are you? Welcome back
buddy.
to the podcast. How goes
Good
it?
to be back. You've been busy, guys. This guy is just podcasting up a storm and trying to represent our new friends in the South American region the best he can. Trying to you're getting the info out to the masses, man.
I
It's
hope
pretty
so.
wild. You and Bowie. Shout out to you guys and Mr. Avo too.
Yeah, Mr. Avo Plus is helping out. I gave him permission just to upload that whole last podcast to Facebook, just straight up to
Nice.
maximize the reach.
Little candy for him. That's nice.
Well, there's a lot of rules on Facebook. If you just make a post that's a link to YouTube or Twitch, kills your engagement. Facebook don't like that, but if you put the content right on Facebook, well, it helps you help yourself by getting the message out there. So you gotta.
Is that why they're so popular? That Facebook? That's pretty clever.
You got to play the game a little bit there, bud. But yeah, it's been a little wild. I hate to say this, but I feel for Richard Lewis a little more than I ever thought possible. It's just like the barrage of people making the same silly arguments to you over and over and over again really wears you down. It's just like a week of dealing with people like, well, what about this situation? Is this racist? Well, what about this one time this one guy said this one thing? Was that racist? Like, yeah. I don't know, man. This isn't really a fun game to play anymore. I don't really want to gauge every single situation. I just know when I see one that's way over, point it out a little bit.
To me, the idea of like, guys, the line. We've started a line here.
Yeah.
Okay. Solo didn't get banned. I think that whole reasoning seems to resonate a little bit with Dota players of like, can we start a line? Can we just please put something in the sand here and be like, all right, y'all done some shit. Can we start figuring this out now?
We all done some shit. Now, can we just focus on a better future? Did you see the old Yoda one today that Leo Style tweeted?
Did.
Because we've agreed now that like one of the big arguments.
I did love Leo Styles' tweet. That was a quality tweet. Just the way he tweeted that, I'm just like, he was pretty psyched to drop that one.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, because one of the big arguments people in South America have tried to make is that the N-word doesn't really have as much weight or mean to them what it does to us up here in North America. And while that might be true, it's like when you're looking at the exchange, clearly they know some of the weight or else they wouldn't be using it in such a derogatory manner to incite somebody to get angry about it. I think we have to acknowledge it the other way too, right? People responding to that tweet like, well, why is dog offensive? It's like, well, if they say that carries extra weight there and it doesn't to us, there's a two-way street here that has to occur for this whole thing to work.
Guys,
so,
stop calling people mongoloids while we're at it.
Yeah, there's another one on the no-no list.
It's on the list. That's on the list of the ones that like, maybe you're like, well, all my friends said it. I didn't even know it was bad.
Yeah, that one's pretty bad.
Well, now you know.
Yeah.
All right. They're just put it in the bin.
Well, as casters, we got a little lucky with that one because Slacks took the bullet for us with that one cast. And after that cast was over at that hub, casting the Mongols and the amazing tweet that we'll never forget.
I actually know that tweet word for word.
Oh, really?
It has the R word in it. It's very funny.
Yeah, the hard R.
At Beyond the Summit. I think this is correct. At Beyond the Summit, who the F is this R word casting our games, calling us calling us the Mongoloids.
Yeah.
I believe it's that's almost the tweet.
That one is as classic as it gets. But after that moment, all of us casters were like, I wasn't really saying that word, but now I'm definitely not saying that word. Holy shit. So, if you didn't get that PSA, that one's in the no-no bin as well. It has some racial roots in it, so it actually does count as a racial slur, and it's less a really mean word to say. But yeah, I don't know, Trent. It's been. I got a little worked up the other day and yelled on the stream before we did that interview with Panda, and I'm sort of glad more people didn't see it. But I can't get this one thing out of my head of like I keep seeing all of these tweets and these memories of pro players tweeting at casters for being too mean or not being sensitive enough about how hard it is to be a pro player, and I can't help but feel a little like, where are our priorities, man? Here, like, where are the other call-outs? Why is so far like me and God's the only people that have thrown something out into the void about this shit? It's a little demoralizing, man. I don't know. it seems like a layup. It just seems like such an easy one to go, guys, there's a pretty clear line and that ain't it. So let's, as players, like even all the people on that 2019 list, some reminders of like, guys, the bar moves, the needle moves. Like none of this shit is okay. I don't know. It just seems like an uphill battle or something because nobody really
no
seems
one wants
to give
to be
a shit.
involved. That's the thing. That no one wants to. I mean, you're in it right now a little bit, obviously, with like you helping to try and show it, and you see the toll it takes on you to be involved. It sucks. It's the worst.
Yeah.
Being involved in any capacity, even if people think you're doing like the right thing and all this shit, is the worst. It sucks you in. It takes all your time. It's in the back of your head all the time. And it doesn't feel worth it.
Well, doesn't it get easier if we decentralize it at least a little bit? Like, doesn't it feel that way because it's always
decentralize it because no one wants to be a part of it.
Well, yeah. I mean,
why be a part of it when you can just dodge it completely and hope it just all comes out in the wash and you just ignore it?
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. It's like this the ultra capitalist Valve model trickles down, right? It's like a part of our culture. It goes back to this.
Finally, they made a code of conduct. Those lazy Dota players.
Oh, it's like, what's the incentive? Why should Team Secret give a shit? What's their financial incentive to say something? It's like, keep Dota going forever? They don't give a fuck. They know how many viewers they can bring in with or without the South American teams. Let them figure it out and move on or don't. And so I sort of get it, but it's a perspective thing. There were a lot of people willing to step up and speak up when Me Too happened. When we hit that tipping point where it's like, if you don't say something, you look like an asshole, then all of a sudden everybody's a virtue signaler, writing blogs and using their platform for good. But then it's something not in their wheelhouse. I don't have to deal with racism, but I have a wife, so women's issues are more important to me. I just feel like I'm seeing some people more than I did in the past, and that's just an upsetting feeling, man. I feel a little let down. I don't like it. It just sucks. It just feels shitty. That's all. You're willing to call out B-Cop, but not racism? I mean, come on, man. Poor B-Cop. Now I feel bad for anybody that's been called out for dumb shit. You
mean like if it's the cat? I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, B-Cop. But
seriously, I can't get on because it's happened multiple times of like, oh, these casters don't know what it's like. It's like, yeah, okay, it's just people are self-absorbed, and that's how humans are. So I shouldn't be surprised. I'm self-absorbed too, but it just sucks, man.
Oh. Yeah, it's been quite a week. I guess it's died down a little bit in the past 24 hours.
Yeah.
Which is, good news. Well, other than the old Yoda thing you just brought up. So
I feel bad for BTS a little bit, too, because they're running an event right now, so they're the ones getting it from all sides also.
Well, they're the only ones running events right now.
Yeah.
So.
And, of course, the issue with,
I guess Epic, but.
With old Yoda is that he got kicked, or the team, he's not on the team anymore, so he's not even in DPC. So it's like, is he going to be punished? It's like, well, punish him how, man? With what?
He's going to ban his account?
The dude has no social media. Yeah, he's not on a team right now, and the team that he was in is like, yeah, they're still in DPC kinda, but they're not playing in BTS Americas even. So, what do we do? There's nothing to take away except for stuff that Valve gives. So, yeah, it's all rough. I understand why South American folks feel like it's unfair, but. For what it's worth, I think Avo and I have had some really good exchanges with people, and similar to the Jericho situation, it's like it is frustrating when we were in the thick of it, but the end result will hopefully be echoed as a PSA within the region of like, yo, we need to rise above. And I keep telling people this stuff is going to come back to haunt South America one way or another. Like, if it's not me now, that's going to be someone else calling this out in the future. Let's do it now, and there's no DPC on from some douchebag like me that doesn't have any real power other than to make some noise about it, compared to, the ban hammer coming out and us having another Smash situation where it feels even more unfair, right? So I don't know. That's like some big brain long-term, like, guys, we got to start cleaning up the mess. But I mean, I think that's kind of true, right? Like, if we're dropping N-bombs in pub games every other day, I have a feeling it's going to come back to haunt you at one point or another. So,
yeah.
Would you rather deal with this now or be banned from DPC? That's kind of the way I would put it.
Everybody love everybody. There, that was easy. Like, that should just be the next Valve blog post. Go with that.
Yeah.
Should pretty much cover it all. But alas, in the world of actual Dota, yeah, I'm good. That's all I needed.
Yeah. Dude, you want to switch to Discord? You're still clipping a little bit. It's not as bad as before, but it's enough that like I could hear it a little bit. I think it might be TeamSpeak, dude. Let's just switch to
All
Discord
right.
and see.
Okay.
It'll take
Let's
2
go.
seconds. Hello. Check. Oh, yeah, you got to switch devices. Okay. I'm with you. I got you. Oh,
All right. Hello.
there we go.
All right. We'll just go here. We'll run it over here.
So far, so good. Didn't hear a clip yet.
Well, you know.
You know how it goes.
Yeah, it doesn't like it that much, I guess.
It ramps up.
Oh my! All right, I'm just gonna close TeamSpeak. I'm sure this is fine.
Yeah. Well, this is at least not a downgrade. That's for sure. So, yeah. Anyway, the actual Dota world. What's happening?
Yes.
It's actually been fairly quiet, right? We had that Epic event. We've had the BTS Americas, but overall, we're just in major waiting time.
Yeah, the Epic League goes until the 21st, and BTS Pro Series also goes until the 21st, by the looks of what I've seen on Wikipedia here. So, yeah, we're just chilling. It looks like the playoffs are fully seeded and actually starting right now. Oh, that's hype. Okay, so just so you know, guys, I'm beyond the summit right now. The playoffs are on. That's awesome. It looks like it's our Cryptic and ET Dota are casting up. Oh, it looks like the Unknown and Pentace might be done? Question mark? I know that it was on earlier.
It looks like the first game finished.
So I'm guessing Penta Ace won.
Okay.
Because I see it listed as the cut game starting.
New Unknown, right? They replaced Yadomi with Prada. I don't know if you were privy to that change, Trent.
I was not privy to that, actually. Interesting.
But, let's see. No, Yadomi's standing in for... Now I'm all confused.
Drakeel was on wait.
You're right. It was Drakeel. I'm sorry. I think.
Yeah. Oh, and they have Sacred from Ego Boys, our Enigma player.
Wait, what is going on? Yeah. So all right. So wait, Unknown. They made 2 swaps. So we're both sort of right. So Drakeel has been swapped at least for this event with Sacred, and then Mr. Avo had told me about Prada being swapped out. Or swapped in rather for Yadomi, and then Yadomi is standing in for Aretes because he was suspended for the stuff, and that's on LATAM Defenders.
But anyway, I mean, I've been tuning in to the tournament throughout the little bit. It's been fun. Great job, everyone involved. Great casters. I'm always down for MLP and John. Mr. X-Fire.
Nice
they're
to
always
have
fun to listen to.
Some consistent content. Yeah, I love the Australian energy. But yeah, 40K, 3 weeks. Not too
Hell
bad.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
Not too
playoffs
bad.
already starting, so get in there, guys. I mean, we got I don't think any of the upper brackets are today. Yeah, they're not until the 18th. So those are both tomorrow, though. It's going to be Undying versus SG. That's hype. And then the Zoomers versus No Ping, too. So also should be pretty good. That's our boy Matthew on there.
That is pretty
mad
hype,
respect
actually.
there. So
I gotta pop this on in the background. This is a pretty legit tournament.
Ego Boys versus the Cut. So that's Nick's team.
Yep,
that should be pretty good. I mean, that's starting like right now, guys. I think the Cut should take it, knowing most of these players now pretty well, especially because there's a lot of substitutes on Ego Boys. They don't have Benjas either.
Holy shit! Yeah, Rises. Who's Rises?
But I mean, they came third in Group A, so it's not like they're terrible or anything. Of course, I don't know who played what games throughout the tournament, but either way, that should be good.
Yeah. So, and then what happened with that Epic event? That was the one. I saw that there was a Reddit thread. It's still going. I saw there was a Reddit thread about whoever's been casting it for free. So I guess free market. It all works out in the end. Somebody gets to do it.
I mean, it's a total unknown. I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
honestly.
that's nice.
That's literally what it's for. Complete and utter unknown. Like,
yep.
At least I saw someone's name, and I'd never even heard of him before.
I guess
I don't know
what his name is.
Newer casters that well either. Yeah, sorry, I don't remember it either. Else I'd say it, but
probably should have double checked that here. I didn't really think about it. I didn't mean that as sarcastically as it sounded. It is nice that somebody did it and somebody got a layup. Though in my head, it's such a weird thing to try to draw the line of how not established you have to be for me being okay with you covering this event for free, because this event was like a weird flex from Epic where they, I don't know if people have said this loudly, but they kind of dangled the carrot to Talon, implying that they were going to do a full English production, and it was going to be similar to the last big epic event, Season 2, we did at the end of 2020. And then at kind of the final hour, they said, you know what? We're not doing English coverage. We want to pay you in promotion, the old promotion points.
Exposure.
Yeah, exposure points. And I don't think it was meant to be insulting, but I felt slightly insulted. Like, dog, come on, man.
I'll let you in the lobbies.
I don't do that anymore. And somewhat on principle, man. Like, what the fuck? You're asking me for free labor. Yeah, it's on my Twitch channel, but that doesn't really make up for it.
The part I actually don't understand is why don't you just pay like the shittiest rate to like good, like decent casters,
and just do it on the Epic Twitch channel. That is exactly what I told them. I was like, there's a difference between $100 a series and $0 per series. You can still get pretty decent casters for a basic rate. People are hungry. It's much better optics. You're still building your Twitch. Like, this isn't the value play. This is the purely cheapest play.
It's
and I think
purely lazy. It's not even. It's just lazy.
Like, there's going to be enough viewers on the Twitch stream that I would think it would do something. But apparently, I've been told from an inside source that the Russian-speaking organizations have really, really bad deals with Twitch, even when it comes to their English audiences. So they negotiate their deal based on their Russian primaries. But even the English-speaking Epicenter channel
still.
Yeah.
There's no way you wouldn't make money if you paid.
I don't know.
I guess I can be like, well, I'm only making this much money. It's not worth the headache of having the guy I'm paying having to handle it. But like,
you still get the followers and the growth, and I don't know. I'm with you there. It ended up, maybe they had originally thought that they were going to try to get bigger teams. So if there were
here's what it could be. It could have been that, and it also could be like there are definitely people who just straight up watch the Russian stream. I would guess there's a significant portion of the like very interested that just turn it on and either leave the audio on or mute it. Who cares?
Sure,
doesn't matter. So maybe that's fine.
Yeah, maybe they know something we don't. But I could totally see if they had a couple secret level teams in this. Maybe the event makes more sense for English, but you look at this lineup and go, all right, how many English viewers are really going to tune in for Team Spirit versus Tundra or Windstrike versus Tundra? It's really going to be the CIS audience. Maybe they're right. I guess I've been so disconnected from CIS, I don't really know what those numbers look like, but I know CIS is a fucking sleeper region and super hyper competitive. So even these like tier 2 events are probably better Dota than some of the tier 1 events in the Americas, unfortunately. If I'm being really honest about it, I think there's some truth there.
Well, either way, it looks like they're almost done. So they have uppers with Viking and Spirit, which is fine. That's pretty good. Viking dropping games all the way through the upper, though, whereas Team Spirit have gone undefeated in the upper bracket. 2-0ing High Coast and Tundra. So Team Spirit looking pretty hot heading into that. Viking on like a slight downslope, obviously, with being relegated. But with the addition of Kezu, they're looking to pick it up.
Yeah, I was going to say, how's that looked?
I've heard good.
Okay.
But I haven't seen any of their games, to be honest. I think I saw like one Kezu game. So hard to judge. How did Dota team do with Ramses, FN, Non-Grata, King R, Solo? You would think that they would be pretty good. They got 2-0 by Hellraisers in the first round of the lower bracket. All right, after getting 2-1 by Brame, so not so hot. Man, that's crazy, actually.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with these all-star CIS stacks that can't seem to get it together. Yo, I got a question for you. Do you think that there's ever been a community-wide dark horse as prolific as Viking in the history of Dota? Have we ever had a team that has had such like an organic storyline with the most camaraderie behind them that has fallen short in such a brutal way with like the lack of relegation matches? It's just instant, like all that kind of stuff. Like, has there ever been a team that has felt like they deserve it so much but are so far away at the same time? Because I struggle to think of a good example. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Not really. No one else that I can think of ever took games off secret and then like several times and then wasn't able to really.
Some of that is because we've never had a league like this where it's like, all right, cool, you didn't qualify for that one tournament. Like nothing's ever felt as punishing as like, all right, well now your TI run's done. cool guys, see you later. That was a pretty big, beyond
That's
big
probably
SmackDown.
a pretty big part of it. I mean, the only other like stick together feel good stories are obviously Ad for Them always comes up. Because they were kind of a team with that sort of feel to it, and then they did so well at Boston. And then I would say the current Liquid roster, like they got signed kind of surprisingly early by Alliance, but then they still did really well.
Okay,
so I mean they're still together, right? So
no, that's a pretty good example. I guess now with Liquid, like they've actually found the success. So it's like they were just very slow to ramp up. They didn't have that same fall off a cliff kind of thing that I feel like Viking just faced. I don't know.
Yep.
It's just interesting that we have like a community dark horse. Usually Team Passion is very regional, right? We see these Brazilian fans, these Filipino fans behind TNC. It's like these kind of regional, often country-driven regional camaraderies, and this one feels a little more like we all feel for Viking a little bit. They're like the poster child of how brutal this format is, and we all feel for it a little bit.
How brutal their region is too.
That too. Yeah,
they're definitely the drop them in another region and see what happens kind of a team.
Yeah, just move to
Which
NA.
no one wants.
How about those memes, Trent? Just move to Texas, dummies. What are you doing? You'll save money on taxes and you'll qualify for TI.
COVID, the only thing keeping the borders closed for Dota teams, not making their way to NA last year. The NA region had their one shot.
Team Taker, dude, they were ahead of their times. 6 years ago, they were coming to NA, shipping in the Europeans.
For the record, I think they'd lose to Quincy Crew. Sorry, Viking.
You think so?
I still don't think they'd be top two.
All right. That would be a hell of a series. Like, if you told me there was that show match right now on land with no ping difference, I'd be pretty hyped to watch that.
I think they'd get crushed. Oh, hot take.
Crushed?
I think Quincy Crew would wipe the floor with them.
All right.
They got the laning stage. You hear what Saberlight said when he came here?
I
Laning
did.
against these NA guys, and it's just like, what the hell? Do you know why the laning is so prolific in NA guys? It's because you have no control in your game in NA. There's no communication. No one says shit throughout the whole game. It's complete and fucking chaos. The one time you have control is your laning stage. It is the least variables that are happening. Mm-hmm. So every NA player just juices the fuck out of their laning stage.
It feels like
try and win their games.
Your highest percentage chance to break games as early as possible. Break the other team before they can break your team. It's that.
Remember, Saberlight was literally number 1 rank Europe, came here and said he was getting killed in lane.
There you go. That says it all.
Yeah. What do you got? What now, huh? Empirical evidence.
What's up? Yeah.
What now? NA Dota, baby.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, it's true. So maybe you got some good points. I mean... All right, let's talk major a little bit, though. I think like kind of general predictions. We're leading into that conversation right now. Who you eyeing up? Who's making the run?
Well, we're 10 days out.
Yeah.
So
what's the hot take in terms of placement?
First off, most excitement for me is definitely Virtus Pro. I didn't get to watch that much of the CIS region, but the fact that these guys just like continue to look so good.
Nightfall,
so
GPK, DM, Save, and Kingslayer.
They're so sick. Like, actually so sick. The first time that I can really remember a lot about them was Singapore of last year, and they just played so well, and there's so many young guys. Like, who's the oldest player on this team? It's something ridiculous. I'd have to look it up again.
Might be Save.
But they are not an old team. They are all extremely young. Man, have they really been together for that long?
So DM is
November
21.
2020.
Yeah, DM is 21, Nightfall is 18, GPK is 19, Save is 19.
That's insane.
Yeah, they're pretty young.
They're so young, and they've been together since November? Wow. Damn.
Basically, most of their team wouldn't be able to drink alcohol in America.
I don't know. They own guys.
So maybe let's do the funnel system here, Trent. Reverse funnel system. Okay, Wildcard.
Oh, wait. They've been on the VP roster since November. Sorry. They've been together a lot longer than that. I was going to say, I thought it said November 2019, and I saw it said 2020, which isn't correct. So, yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay.
The VP Prodigy's roster, which was... Anyway, I don't have the info there. But they've been together for a long time. It's got to be like a year and a half at this point or something, right? At least the core group of them. Either way, yeah, excited to keep watching Virtus Pro. I want them to win.
November 2020 is the date that I see.
Yeah, that's for when they got signed onto Virtus Pro. Because before, remember, they were VP Prodigy, and then they got promoted. That's why there's some confusion there.
I got you.
You see,
Okay.
and then you also have your name swaps where it is still Epileptic Kid, but now he's Nightfall, so it's like even more confusing.
That's true. I forgot about that one also. But now that you say that, it's coming up memory. So yeah, the date for that original squad, Epileptic Kid, FNDM, Save, and Ine or whatever, that was 2020 April 1st. So yeah, it's been a hot minute. That's about 2 years. I think that's a fair summary. But
a while. It's been a while. Anyway, so they're all young. They're all good at Dota. I would love to see them do well and potentially win that thing.
All right, yeah. So I mean, directly seeded to playoffs, they've got a pretty good chance. But let's go from bottom to top here.
Okay.
Wild card. We've got 6 teams. Only 2 make it into the group stage. Nigma, Liquid, Vici, PSG, LGD, T1, and AS Monaco Gambit. Thoughts here? 2 out of the 6. What do we like?
Very, very, very tough. Now, I will say I haven't gotten to watch as much China as I'd want to. But I'm not even looking at the other teams. Sorry. But to me, it's basically just between LGD, Vici, Liquid, and Nigma.
Okay.
They are
not even Liquid.
Clearly, the other 2 teams can do well. Like T1 has actually been very impressive. Plus, they just got 23 Savage, which is, it's
good and bad.
Fair, but it obviously it sucks that you qualified, then you don't get to play. So did you really qualify? And then Monaco Gambit is a good team. It's just I think the competition that you've been facing in the other regions is just so brutal that they're going to be a little bit more tuned up, especially because they could be scrimming and practicing right up into it with those same teams as well. So yeah, I'm feeling very good about those 4 teams. I'm gonna predict it's gonna be. Oh God, I want Liquid to get out, but I feel like they're not gonna do it. I really hope they do, just because
I think it'll be LGD and Nigma. I'm sticking to the front runners here.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to be a total fanboy and just say it's gonna be Vici and LGD.
I mean, that's
like seriously.
That would actually be my second. But I don't. Nigma's just got so much LAN experience. I don't know.
They're kind of shaky though. I don't know.
Hard to count them down.
It's true. You definitely can't cut.
I feel like they're the kind of players that they could crumble under pressure, but at the same time, I could see them stepping up, like backs against the wall. Okay, guys, we're not the team that gets eliminated in the wild card.
It's gonna be good. It's 4.
It's a hype wild card. It really is. I mean, I still think this part of the tournament is stupid in terms of 4 teams like showing up to get eliminated in the first 2 days, but it is really hype in terms of just straight watching it to see who's going to win. I
have a wild question for you, though.
Yeah, okay.
So it's 4 matches a day on 2 streams.
Okay.
Who's casting them?
Fucked if I know. Why? So are the casters going to be still traveling then? Or won't it just be the talent on site covering the event?
It'll have to be the talent on. Are they going to commentate the whole thing? Is that their plan with how many commentators do they have? They have Shiver and Sumichu as dedicated hosts. Theoretically, Shiver can do play-by-play. I know she likes doing it.
They've got at least 4 casting pairs, I think, right? If there's no panel for these first 2 days and they're just casting.
Are they not going to panel the hypest part of the tournament?
Well,
the wild card?
It's a good question. I don't know. I just assumed they would. So you're saying that they'll probably do some studio stuff and some remote caster stuff.
I guess that's true. They could just do Tsunami, ODPixel, B-Cop, and Gods, right?
Yeah.
And then they'll just have no panelists for the wild card.
That would be my first
I guess
thought.
You can panel. You just work the whole day?
You could do that as well if you don't care about off shifts. That's
I guess they're only 2-game series though, so it should go fast. It's more like just doing 3 best of 3s.
Well, that's the classic. Oh, it's only 2. It's best of 2. It's Google real quick. It's a fucking wild card though. Nobody wants to tap out. Everyone's played super safe. This is like the single elim of single elim, man. These are going to be long games. These are going to be teams playing really careful, waiting for enemies to make mistakes. These ain't going to be blowouts, dude.
I'm hoping there's a remote B stream, but where's my call? That's all I'm saying. Can I get a phone call here, Dakota? Tell God, I see God's there.
Yeah.
You know I'm available.
So real quick before we go into the groups, I'll say one thing, dog. I know they ain't calling SUNSfan. Can we talk about that real quick? Have you been keeping up with the We Say Things podcast? We can do some podcast crossover here, react to the reaction. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know
about him just saying that, like, the thing about some teams?
Yeah,
that whole thing.
Some teams hope the major gets canceled, I think is what he said. And apparently that was met with quite vitriol and pushback from some of the teams, hence prompting that ridiculous PR post that came out. Did you see that one?
I mean, I don't want to get too involved, but didn't it literally just prove he was right because not every team signed it? Wouldn't it even better to just literally say nothing?
Oh, man.
Am I an idiot, or is that just the most basic conclusion to draw from that?
Well, I drew a very similar conclusion. Apparently, not all teams were even asked to sign the document. So, to me, it reads very
Hello,
clearly.
teams we actually care about. We would like you to put this
Hello,
document out.
Tier 1 Dota millionaires here. We hear that you guys have some concerns about this major, and as the teams most likely to take the prize money at this event, we just like to let you know that this event is looking great and that you should show up anyway. I think where SUNSfan stepped in it was saying that they wish it would be canceled, and maybe it was more just like they have reservations about the event, right? Saying like, I hope it's canceled is pretty... that might be a slight embellishment or misinterpretation or something, I would perhaps argue. But I did not like that team statement that OG signed just to throw in their star power there to flex a little bit. Like, to me,
that's how you know you're not in the top player Discord. When when OG signed this thing and you didn't. That's like, oh, so this is the group. This was in the Discord group of the teams that like the organizer talks to, but we're not in that conversation.
Yeah, I don't know. I think SUNSfan hit too close to home, and that's why that shit blew up. But to me, that statement, like, if you read that with a critical eye and you're not just completely soaked up in the fandom of your favorite Dota teams, that right there speaks to some of the big systemic issues that we have in Dota in terms of these Tier 1 European teams that own the viewership, own the money. They have their own little bubble. They do whatever they want. They get to control most of the scene. And the smaller regions that have no say, no vote, no representation are kind of just along for the ride. Like most other sports, there's talent unions, there's player unions, there's all that shit. One of the downsides of the lack of player unions is we just have a de facto union by the richest, most powerful teams that draw all the star power. So that's going to happen because, they're popular, they've won TI, I get it. They're worthy of the star power. It just sucks to see them flex it in a way that I can't help but infer a bit of a fuck you to the teams that weren't even invited to sign that document. I mean, damn, dude. That's some cold lotion right there, Trent.
Yeah, it was very strange.
So,
just the whole circumstance of it was just so weird.
Yeah, I don't know what I have to lose by calling that one, though, like I see it, but I would like... It's all part of this puzzle of like, God damn it, guys. Can't we are we all just living in this self-serving bubble of, well, if it doesn't directly affect me, fuck it. Like, Jesus Christ, is that the world we want to live in, man? Can't we think just a little more holistically? Am I just a crazy socialist now, bud? Have I been converted? Did I drink too much Kool-Aid? What's happening? I'm losing it.
Yeah, I don't know. It felt like to me, like when you feel guilty about something you've done, so you overcompensate. It felt like some overcompensation. It's like, man, maybe we really shouldn't be having an international LAN from everyone across the entire world when the pandemic's starting to like ramp up again and we're just getting a vaccine. Nah.
Yeah.
It's them who are wrong.
Well, and so the other thing about it too, like I think like Deja had responded to that tweet just like, so then are we going to address the 48-hour quarantine that literally nowhere recommends as an effective quarantine? 48 hours is not enough time to determine whether or not people got infected during travel. It can have a longer incubation period than that. So just like, it'd be one thing if they demonstrated or listed out all the safety precautions. We could all go, oh, wow, look at all this really cool, smart shit that they've put in place to try to protect everyone. Notice we got zero details. It just said, we believe this is going to be awesome.
Well, in their defense, didn't they list that it's been sanctioned by the Singaporean government? That's the only reason they can even get these guys into the country. Ergo, my assumption is that...
Then explain the 48 hours.
Well, the government's involved. That was their decision. They're letting them do it based on the fact that they're not allowed to leave the hotel.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to do anything. They're fully isolated. You're not even allowed to room with someone.
So if
the
do the
government
players
says it's
play in the
okay,
same room together? Like when the matches are happening?
Yes. As far as we know, they play in the same room together. They share practice rooms that'll have to be cleaned down and stuff. But aside from that, they
share practice rooms.
Up.
So like, just like what happens if one player tests positive day 4 after landing, or let's say start showing symptoms. What happens?
I'd ask the Singaporean government.
Is that team DQ'd? Is that guy like? Do they throw him in a shoebox somewhere?
Well, everyone's bringing a sub.
Okay, everyone's got a sub. That's good. That's a good first step. I don't know.
Well, everyone should be. That's for sure.
I mean, some teams don't have coaches, dude. Who like is there a byline or a news article somewhere that everyone's bringing a sub? Because I missed that.
No, that's I've heard that people are asking people and being like, "Yo, just in case."
I think that's reasonable.
Bring someone else. Do you want to come to the major with us?
Yeah. No, I think that's reasonable.
I'm going to assume this is fine to say. Jack actually told his team that he thinks they shouldn't bring him. He said, guys, I don't think you should take me. I think you should take someone else who can potentially stand in, because you don't need me, a garbage support player. You should bring another core.
Oh, God, that's another thing too, right? What kind of a stand-in do you bring? Because you don't know.
Or sorry, vice versa. Obviously, bring a supporter. Bring someone who can play more than anything, because he's just a garble core player.
Well, that's what I mean.
Jack's an immortal, but he's not. Well,
he's not yet. He's not pro.
He's not that good.
Well, but what? Especially
enough with Jack
at a major too. This isn't some qualifier. This is like.
But the team were like, no, we need you, Jack, and so that. That probably felt pretty good.
That's nice. Yeah. But even just finding like a substitute though that can play a variety of roles, because you might have to
what
play...
are the odds? Can I take a bet out on does Black play?
Does Black have to jump in as a substitute, jump off panel into the game?
Yeah. I'd take like a 5% on, like, I think 5% chance.
5%? That's
3%
better
chance.
That's better odds than a draw in the UFC. So there you go. Yeah,
1 to 11 on that, up to $100. Ooh.
As far as credentialed substitutes go, Black is actually pretty high on the list. And in terms of like potential for teams, like he could stand in on a Chinese team, he could stand in on a European team. He speaks English very well, obviously.
All right,
that's a good one. That's a good shout.
I'm gonna give you guys the tier list. All right, I've got the commentators open. I'm gonna list them in order of their value as a stand-in.
Wait.
The official Trent tier list.
Okay.
All right.
Go for it.
All right. Tier 1, best stand-in available. This is only out of the talent that are there. Best stand-in is Black. He's number 1. Second stand-in is Lizard. He comes after. Third stand-in is gonna be Fogged. He's still got it. He's still good. Trust me. Fourth stand-in. Ooh, this one's a bit tough. I'm gonna go for a bit of a ringer here. I'm gonna bring in Weppes. All right, I think Weppes. He comes in fourth, just above Lacoste. I hope he's not too insulted there.
I was just gonna say, damn, that's some cold lotion, man.
All right. So who's left here?
Gods,
right, Lacoste, Black.
Tsunami.
Gods is definitely right there with Lacoste. So I'll put Gods right after Lacoste.
Like Tsunami's got to be up there, sorta, right? Isn't he a decent?
Next is OD.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh man, I don't know, Owen. God, you throw pretty hard.
Yeah, but at the major, Owen would try hard. He takes Dota seriously. I believe in our lad. I think
next is Owen. And then after Owen, it's Shiver for the intimidation factor.
Purely for the...
It's the big brain. She comes out and they don't know what's happening. They have no idea. She's going to pick up that Dark Willow. They're going to see that thing's almost ranked 25. They're going to be scared. Trust me, she's good with the fear. It'll all be fine.
Okay.
And then who I have left? I have B-Cop.
Did I have
Scriff. Tsunami?
I think you got...
Oh, shit. I forgot about Scriff. Oh, sorry. All right. Scriff is right after... Scriff's actually above Owen. I'm sorry. Okay. And then it's Owen. And then Shiver. And then...
Tsunami. And then B-Cop. I think that's all you got left.
And then Tsunami. No. And then actually not Tsunami. He hasn't been playing Dota. He's been streaming Yakuza. It's going to be B-Cop and then Sumichu and then Tsunami. Tsunami's getting the official last place.
Sumichu's been training, you see. So she's actually in form.
She's caught up. She's literally been doing nothing but panic studying Dota for the past couple of months, I'm sure. So she's more in the Dota headspace than Neil is. All right. So Tsunami.
Yeah.
Sorry, bud. I'm only saying this because I know you can take it. You're last on the list on the official stand-in.
Give B-Cup the +1. I like that.
Yeah. I think that's it, right? I didn't miss him. I don't think JJ's there. I think he's probably doing.
I don't see him listed. Now, all right, I got a similar yet also very different question for you, Trent. Now, will Black have to stand in? Will there be a player that gets eliminated in the wild card that has to stand in? Now, because let's hope no player gets sick, right? But there could be a world where multiple players get sick, right? So what you got these teams, they're eliminated. It's a little weird because you've got these players that are in the event, but at the same time, it's a small pool of people that you could choose from. They're there in the land bubble environment anyway. I don't know. That sounds...
Yeah, I assume they're going to let them. That would be my first guess. Although that's a kind of a big conflict of interest because then like essentially not even conflict of interest. It's more like just it's not fair. It's who you know.
It's messy. Yeah.
Yeah. What happens when it's like one of the South American teams that they need somebody and it's like, they're not friends with someone.
Fogged is the only one that can stand in because he's the only one that speaks Spanish.
Well, not even that. It's just like if it's decided by like who you're friends with, some teams have such humongous advantages that
favors the tier one for sure. That tier one network is big.
Someone in chat mentioning other language. That's a very good question. None of them are listed. If I had to guess, they're probably not flying in any other language. Maybe Chinese, but maybe not. I would say they're not flying in Chinese because I don't think PGL usually does, but because they're so close, maybe they will. I'm not sure. I don't have the deets on that.
That is I could see it either way. COVID, they've all got studios locally anyway, so it's one of those like, well, we've got this studio space. Why would we fly and build a new one when we could just use the one we have already? What difference does it make? There's no crowd anyway, so who gives a shit?
There's also a very good point in chat because I meant to bring this up on the podcast. You have to leave when you're eliminated.
Oh, you leave so that they don't have like pre-booked tickets? Yeah. It's like
no, they're just out of there. You're gone. Once you're eliminated, they send you on a plane and send you home.
Okay, so the wildcard teams will not stand in then.
You're right. Yes.
Like you leave
unless it's
actually
like literally later that day.
The next day.
Yes. So now here's the real question. Well, I mean, first off, I was all talking about how the teams aren't getting any additional money coming here if they place bottom, but they get invaluable scrimmage and practice experience. Blah, blah, blah. Well, never mind. F that. You have to go home. You don't get to spend the whole time scrimming all these other amazing teams globally. That just kills so much potential of what you gain from this event. Like that could have been like a full week, even if you're eliminated in the wild cards, of just like scrimming and learning so much as a team and as an individual. The knowledge across the regions being shared sucks.
God, man, this is just so shitty because I feel like partially we're holding Valve to an impossible standard, and partially,
of course,
you always feel like there's more that could be done. But and I'm also projecting like it feels like we're so close to the vaccine in America, UK, and Canada, but in the rest of the world, it's not moving nearly as quickly. So, even if all the English speakers are vaccinated, does that change the, dynamics of this event 3 months from now? No, not really. It's still a crazy thing to try to pull off. But
may I float you a genius concept, friends?
Yes, please.
Any of you tournament or team owners who are here listening, because I know you come here for my valuable insight, get a hotel in the Philippines. All right, get a hotel somewhere nearby. Stay scrimming. Just chill out. It's still gonna be the same ping.
Literally, just stay in Singapore.
No, you have to leave the country. They make you leave Singapore, but go somewhere else.
Can't
nearby.
You just go to Malaysia? Can't you just?
Yeah, go to Malaysia. Yeah, that's like literally. No. Well, I guess.
Well, I'm not the best at geography.
Between the two.
Well, isn't Singapore just like?
Yes, they're attached to Malaysia.
It's landlocked in Malaysia, so can't you just just drive into Malaysia and just get a little house? And
I don't know if they will let you drive though. That I'm not sure about.
Okay, but I mean, fly to KL, dude.
Yeah, go somewhere, and scrim. That's the play. I mean, how expensive, honestly, can it really be considering everything else? You don't have to pay for the flights there.
I'm just trying to imagine these wild card teams. Like, okay, you leave your home country. They stamp your passport. Where are you going? This big video game tournament. Wow, that's crazy, mate. Super risky in COVID. Have fun. When are you going to be back? I don't know. We'll find out. They stamp your passport.
What do you mean you don't know?
48 hours go by. You land in Singapore. You're done in Singapore. You play the wild card. Another 48 hours. You're eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
Then you fly home.
Which...
You get the same border guard. They're like, mate, you were gone for 4 days. Was that worth it? Because now you got to be quarantined for 2 weeks before we let you go back into the populace. Like,
yeah.
It's just that's so like I get they don't want people to be sitting around in Singapore, so I kind of get it, but it just that seems so crazy, man. It's just
I think they literally have one of those big letters from the country thing. Again, with how much it's involving the Singaporean government.
Yeah, that's probably true.
But if you look at this tweet here from our friends at Neon Esports, they had a little note there. Obviously, they qualified to the group stage from Southeast Asia. Some of our favorite players are on this team, buddy. We got Playhard, Yopaj, Natsumi. We catch those guys for ages.
Mm-hmm. So this is from today. This is from like 7 hours ago, this tweet.
Yes. No, longer than that. But early this morning.
Okay. Oh, midnight yesterday. I see. All right. 20 hours.
So it said, we're doing our best to make it to the major, guys. Right now, getting there feels harder than qualifying. #challenges. And that says working with at T1, at Fnatic, and at Evil Geniuses to get this sorted out. So I'm not sure if there's just some sort of an issue of like...
What does that mean?
I don't know.
What do those 4 teams have in common?
It seems like there's some sort of a barrier between the fact that they're from the Philippines maybe and Singapore. Like maybe there's something going on between those two countries in terms of like current travel restrictions. I really don't know. I guess... That shouldn't make that much sense considering Fnatic would also have to be bringing like Raven and DJ. I don't know. I guess I don't know where Fnatic's based right now, to be fair.
Well, they have an HQ in the UK.
Yeah, but I mean like team house. I would guess the Philippines.
I thought it was
I don't actually know.
In Kuala Lumpur, but I actually don't know either. That's
true.
A little bit of a guess. It could have. Singapore is also a pretty good guess as well.
I mean, I guess yes. Obviously, they all have C players.
Yeah,
but I don't know what's going on. Are they like
what? It's harder to travel within C than it is international.
I guess they all have Filipino players. Maybe there is something happening there, right?
So specifically, Philippines to Singapore. Can we Google that?
I guess we should because if we do the math here, we obviously have Abed and they have Carl and Cuckoo. And then Fnatic has DJ and Raven. So yeah, there must be something happening. And Neon it's full Filipino, by the way. It's Scam and Juan Yuel also listed there. Anyone know? Is there like a travel restriction or something?
Yeah. I mean that is the common link. So
can I fly Philippines to Singapore right now?
I'm getting mostly just American travel to both places stuff, but
passengers are not allowed to enter Singapore. A guide on the Philippines. Departing from the Philippines. That's what it says right now from the latest update.
So it's basically one of these one-to-one travel country restrictions, just like we did. Like flights from China can't come to America. It's like that kind of shit.
It says this does not apply to nationals and permanent residents, passengers with long-term visa pass, blah 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 blah. So yes. God. Passengers with a work pass. So there must be something they can get there. They must have an approval letter from the Ministry of Manpower or the Immigration and Checkpoints Authority. So it's some bureaucracy issue.
So a lot of these times, it's not always an issue of will it get approved? It's an issue of when will it get approved, right? And with these events, it seems like we have a lot of runway, but you don't know if you're going to qualify until the league is over. So it's actually not that much runway from when you know you've qualified to when you're going, and you can't really apply if you're not actually going because you need all the paperwork to justify the ask of why you're going. So I think that might be one of the issues of like, can we expedite this during COVID times? Anecdotally, one of our issues about like, can we go to Croatia? That was kind of what they told us regarding the first season with the holidays. Like, is it possible to get in with business exceptions? Yes. Is your situation high priority? No. And given the timeline you've got here of like, you got to get here within 3 weeks, we're probably not going to have time to process it by the time you need to get here. That's the kind of shit you're up against.
Yeah, Archie, the thing you linked, I think, is not COVID related. That is just yes, before COVID, you could. I think currently that's not true.
But damn, dude. I mean, how brutal would it be if we end up with a situation where, this is like the worst case scenario that we were always worried about. What happens if certain countries can't get in? It ends up ruining multiple teams worth of Dota. Fuck.
That would be actually insane that would that'd be really bad. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Well, I mean, all we can do really is hope that doesn't happen.
Yes.
I mean, I guess the answer, maybe that's why they brought so many wildcard teams. Oh, Valve are fucking geniuses. All right, so EG's out, Neon's out, T1 would be out, and Fnatic would be out. I mean, I guess the question is, how much out would you be? Like, if you only lost Raven and DJ, would the other 3 players try and play? I guess they can't really. If you only lost Abed and Bulba plays 3. Oh, these are some fun questions we get to ask.
I mean, you got to remember the implications, right? This year only
they could just
has...
play from home. Okay, hold on. First off, they could just play from home. Surely. Surely we could work something out. Is that too...
I mean, 250 ping? Yeah, okay. I mean...
No, from the Philippines.
Oh, from the... okay. Yeah, I guess you could just play from
now,
home.
Then you have our own little ethical issues of cheating and whatnot and, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. What are they going to do? Fly someone from PGL to everyone's homestead? Hey, DJ. Yeah, I just got to sit back here. Can I just sit on your bed, dude? Is this cool?
Yeah.
Hey, what's on that phone?
You're right. Philippines is close enough. You could, in theory, play online. You could try to do some webcam shit where God, what a mess, man.
Let's just hope this doesn't happen. So, yeah.
Breathe, buddy, breathe.
But the major starts soon, guys. 27th.
10 days.
2 days of wild cards into 1, 2. Whoa, wait, what? Wait, is this group stage only 2 days long?
Oh my god, apparently. So it's 8 teams.
Whoa.
Single round robin, all BO2.
Oh, buddy, I can't wait to see what team gets first in last series. Oh, they're going to be so pissed.
So top 2 teams go upper, 3rd through 6th go lower, and then bottom 2 from each group eliminated. So big group stage implications.
Oh, man. And then I guess they'll have the draw for everything else after. I have no idea how they're going to seed everything. No sweet clue. I'm so glad I'm not involved in that.
Yes, in terms of seeding the teams that go directly to playoffs.
Yeah, like how do you seed that?
Invictus, yeah. EG Beast Coast.
I wonder how they seed it. I wonder, is it by draw? It must be just a random draw. I mean, they probably separate regions first.
Do you just do it manually based on like ELO ratings?
I don't think you can, dude. There's like...
Well, you could use just like Valve have...
How can you use Beast Coast Glico rating when they haven't played against a team outside of SA in ages?
I don't know. The system just work. You just do. It's not good data, but it's the best data you got. It's the same conundrum for all the other teams that have only played within the region. But there's still a global ELO rating on Gosu Gamers. Valve have their own internal system of Glico or whatever the fuck it is, some MMR thing.
Yeah. But I mean, it would just be so not relevant for so many of these teams.
Is that worse than flipping coins, dude? You want to literally draw names out of a hat? Is that better? I don't know.
I mean, would it be worse than taking the first place from regions and working from there for like first place of double seeds, all separated into separate groups or separate blocks? First off,
yeah, something like that could work. I guess you could just go regional.
But again,
I'm
glad I'm not doing that.
See, that's one of those, like, I would argue, if this were MOONDUCK running this event, I would argue, as shitty as it is to get it wrong if you manually seed it, we have to acknowledge that some regions are better than others, and I think you just use human intervention to try to seed it as best you can based on what the general analysis is of the power rankings. I personally think that's the best way to do it if you ask people that, the Knoxvilles of the world to give you legit data points on it.
That's not, in the end, it's not going to be fair either way, because you could use if you use 2 different ELO systems, one's going to give you, like, there's a chance that one puts one matchup and one puts the other, and what makes one system more fair than the other. And then the same thing happens if we all do it by hand, which is why you end up doing draws.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying that I'm just saying I don't like the draw thing very much.
I don't like it.
I don't like. I just don't
I
like
like
random. Maybe that's just my arrogance of like, well, we can do
Is
it
this why
better.
Artifact failed? Is it because of you?
We can do it better than what the random will do. I don't know. Maybe you're right.
I don't like randomness in my card deck drawing game. I have to admit there was definitely some flaw in that logic from me, at least when I complained about Artifact.
I saw that poor post about SUNSfan today, just like, quote from SUNSfan 2018, says Artifact will outshine every single competitive card game in the future, without a doubt. Oh, poor SUNSfan. Poor man.
He played it.
His podcast is popping off, though, so that's exciting.
Hell yeah, dude. I heard they're like one of the top searches when you search esports now.
I think so. I wish they'd picked a better name for the podcast so it was more like SEOable. Then it could actually pop off and become a thing. But
yeah, but it's a good name, though.
I know. I'm just saying. It's like that in the studio thing. You got to have something a little more unique. We say things is just too. It doesn't. It's hard to search.
I think it was the theme song that did it for them personally.
Well, sure, the theme song's great. I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying. It's you can't type it into Google. You got to know where to look.
I'm just saying. You're just saying some things.
I'm just saying, man. SUNSfan. You could have more sponsors.
All right, Zyori, who's winning this thing? Right now, boom. All right, well, sorry. First off, we already did our wild card. Who's our top two out of the groups? Let's just say who's making the playoffs out of these teams. Let's pretend that it's you can put whoever you want in the round robin group stage from the wild card that you like. But if you think they'll win it.
Who are the top two from each group? Basically, is the question.
Yeah.
Okay, so group stage. It's gonna be Quincy Crew and PSG.
That's a bold NA call. I like
PSG LGD. I think they will be the top two in the group stage.
You think they get to make it? That would be hype as hell.
I think PSG will make it through the wild card, and they will be top two. And I think the group stage is going to be hype, but I actually think Quincy Crew will do it.
God, I gotta say, I watched some Aster lately. Those guys are fucking good. There's a reason they're there above VG and LGD. I have to say.
Yeah. Maybe you're right. I haven't watched much China.
I love LGD, though. I love these players so much.
Me too.
I mean, how can you go against these players?
I'm going on
like
star
some of
power.
my favorite players ever.
Same.
Oh, God. It's something I'll pick ZenQ Techies. Yeah, it's a cool cheese strat, but that's all it should be. Top two. God, I kind of want to ride or die NA too. I'm gonna go with Aster. Because I do think that they're kind of hot right now.
Aster Quincy. Is that what you're going for here?
I think I like to go with Aster Quincy.
All right. So how about bottom two, though? Who's getting eliminated in groups? I actually think Thunder Predator will be bottom two. I hate to say it, but I just don't think they're good enough.
I think Neon are actually extremely good. I don't think they'll be bottom two.
I think Na'Vi have a lot of star power, too. I think... Ooh.
It might be one of our wildcard teams, right? Don't forget about that.
So Nigma, that's kind of my prediction there. It would be Nigma, Thunder Predator.
I think Nigma would beat a Na'Vi.
Yeah. Oh,
also,
man.
I think they might beat an Alliance, too, sometimes.
That's
you don't know, right? You're such a toss-up.
That's a really tough one to call.
I think I'm going to pick Alliance. I think it might be Thunder Predator Alliance.
Okay.
I feel like
that's fair.
They have some issues sometimes. I could also see them winning the group stage. I do think that this group stage is going to be very exciting.
Yeah.
But that's my gut read.
Yeah,
TP
I'll go
Alliance.
I'll go with Na'Vi. I'll go TP Na'Vi. I think you talked me into it, actually. I do generally believe in that team, but the competition is fierce.
Should be good.
All right, so playoffs. That throws Secret, IG, Fnatic, Virtus Pro, EG, and Beast Coast into the mix. And so if you're in the playoffs, what does that guarantee you? Is it top 10?
Well, if you're in the first round and then you lose the second round,
I guess
how many teams
count backwards of how many teams are eliminated out of the 18. So it's -4 and then it's -6, so 12. I guess top 12.
You're only if you just bomb out.
Yeah, if you just lose both your series straight away. Knowing nothing about seeding or how it's going to match up, when you first said, like, all right, buddy, who's going to win? Just call it. Just say a name. You know where I was going to go. I do still believe in Secret. Every time we have this conversation, I go on this tirade about the legacy of Nisha and all the individual star power. And like after my interview with Sunby and hearing him talk about Secret, I'm like just as hot on that team as I've ever been.
Yes,
like just
they're actually insane.
Him talking about Puppy, like I kind of think of him almost as a high ego player in some ways, but Sunby described him as like, when I first joined the team, like I had this feeling of why would this guy want to listen to me? He's got so many more credentials than I do. And he said, because Puppy understands Dota is about perspective and seeing the game from different angles. So it's not about, I've got it completely right. It's about, I've got some of the picture, you've got some of the picture. How do we put them together to make a composite that shows us almost the whole picture? And I think Heen as a captain is like, or a coach rather, I'm sorry, a coach is like legit.
If you guys don't know much about Heen, I just want to say that guy is so fucking cool. Yeah. I love hanging out with Heen. Anytime I'm on like a bus or something or at a party or Dota related and I see Heen there, I sidle up. I chat with Heen. Yeah. He's so nice.
So can I tell you my wish, Trent? What I want? I don't know if this is most likely. This is what I want to see. I want secret IG grand finals, and I want an EG-IG lower bracket decider.
Oh. So I want EG too.
Third place EG, second place IG, first place secret.
Just for the memes? I would love to see EG Virtus Pro in the playoffs.
That would be hype too. That trio to me are like, I mean, I don't know. That would just be such a hype. Enter the tournament, all this different regional representation. That series of IG versus EG, like, dude, I'm watching that shit like it's my job, Like, those are some hype matchups. Anyway, what do you hope? What's your wish list here, dude? What are you hoping Santa's going to bring you?
Team Secret Grand Final that's not a 3-0.
Okay.
Virtus Pro, hopefully in the Grand Final. I would like to see them in the Grand Final, if not at least very deep in the bracket. I kind of feel like, unless they get matched up really early with Secret, I could definitely see that being our upper bracket final. Okay. And then Virtus Pro drops down to fight our challenger. I think you kind of nailed it with IG. They do look very strong. I also could, if it was any wildcard team, it would probably be either Vici, PSG, or Nigma. Because Nigma definitely get the power up on LAN. Yeah, I think you're correct about that. These guys do not crumble at all. Mind control pops off. GH is just crazy stable.
Kuro's crazy stable on LAN, I think.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a mess. What about
so Fnatic and Beast Coast? Those are the big two that both of us were like, yeah, you're in the playoffs, but like, I don't know.
I mean, I could see them doing fine. Yeah, I'd like to talk about Beast Coast though, because we theoretically should have the best perspective on them out of like anyone, right? So the question is, where will they land? We should get this right, I think. We know they're in the playoffs. They have to be top 12. Do you see them bombing out? I don't see them bombing out from like 0-2 or whatever. I don't see that. I see them at least making it lower bracket round 2, personally. Maybe even round 3. They could win their first matchup depending on what the draw is.
Yeah, I think it all depends on matchups, because I think Beast Coast have some of that like laning type thing that the NA teams do as well. So they break games early.
They do. They definitely do.
So yeah, it's true. They're one of the. I could see Beast Coast pretty easily making a top 8 run.
I think top 8 would be. I don't even want to say acceptable. I think like it's difficult for these guys because they are really good at Dota and they've had success before on the international stage.
Yeah.
My hope for them is top 6 because I think that makes you pleased. And it's pretty respectable. Obviously, you want to go further, but I think top 6 would be a happy ending, at least to the org, and I'm sure to them after you get over the fact that you just lost. It's pretty good. I think top 8, it just kind of feels like average, and I think anything below top 8 is just like, yeah, I know that like the international competition is tough, but like they still want to, I feel like they can do it. I feel like they can at least top 8.
It's like, where do we set that expectation? I'm with you. Top 8 sort of maybe a minimum bar.
Only
top 6
because...
would be, yeah.
Yeah. If you put all these teams in a giant bracket and like a full-on group stage and then played it out from there, maybe they don't get top 8 and that's okay. But when you're seeded first, like in the playoffs right at the beginning and everyone else is like grinding out to make it there, I think they should have that freshness that should get them that top 8.
I agree with you. I'm with that. So how about Fnatic?
Fnatic, I don't really know much about it. I'll be real. I don't have a great read on them. I've watched some of their games lately. They're really confusing with the whole Jabs DJ thing still happening. I don't know what's going on with that.
I don't either. No, I have no idea.
It's weird. I watched some of their games lately, and DJ's still just like popping off like crazy and playing extremely well.
Despite having interviewed Sunby recently, who's their coach, we didn't really talk about Fnatic that much, to be honest. Talked about old stuff.
Their games just feel so like weird. I don't know. I guess in a sense they can kind of do some Secret-esque stuff because of the power that their two support players have.
Yeah.
I
need to see more of them. I don't have huge expectations, maybe is the way I'd frame it.
Yeah, same.
I mean, do you feel like you almost have higher expectations for Neon, who are in the group stage, to perform better than Fnatic?
No. I still think Fnatic should do better than them.
I gotcha.
For sure.
All right.
Yeah.
So basically, SEA...
It's just, I look at the other top 6 teams, and Fnatic and Beast Coast are very similar. I think you were right about that.
Yeah. So it does feel like SEA is definitely on the weaker side in terms of regional representation right now. Like, it seems like we're just talking about China and Europe, just both on this next level, and CIS as well, really. And kind of NA, like Quincy Crew at EG. We can't forget QC, right? They took that big series against Evil Geniuses in the league format. So like the NA matchups have some pretty big potential too. I don't want to see Quincy Crew versus EG. Please don't make the NA side cannibalize each other.
No, that's only C, dude. C always gets that matchup every single fucking time.
Dude, it could be us this time. It could that is my second big ask. Please.
Keep the regions apart, man.
Yes, just like keep them apart in general. But if you got to put some together, not NA, NA.
The thing about C and why it's weird with their teams is that if you look at Europe, Secret is like here. When you talk to, so like you said, talk about Sunby, when you talk to actual pro players and coaches and stuff, this is where they see Team Secret. They see Team Secret like way the fuck up here, and everyone else in Europe, I'm talking everybody in Europe, is like way down here. Like literally they're not playing the same game. Like Secret is considered to be really, 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 really fucking good, and they're not even trying their hardest.
It's like they see things that the rest of us don't. You know, it's like they see these patterns and these ways of accumulating income. Like this is a trope that has been said for a long time, but Secret have redefined over and over. Dota is not a game of kills. It is a game of economy. And they have this crazy way of working the map where they're like putting on pressure and maximizing the economics to this crazy degree that it looks so easy when they do it, but the best teams in the world still can't imitate it 1-to-1. It's bananas, man.
It was essentially put to me, and I'm paraphrasing a lot, essentially was just like when you go back and watch the replays of Europe, like sure, it all looks good and stuff when you're watching and everyone looks competitive, but when you're actually watching the replays and you can go for that like complete dissection of stuff, you watch Secret and you go like you don't find a flaw.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of fucked up when you think about it in Dota, because Dota is like a billion tiny little movements, but you watch Secret and you're like, dude, they made like one mistake this series. It's like, oh man, he probably should have pulled there. Like that, you know, that's the kind of level that they're seeing when they look at Secret games. Whereas you look back at other games, and it's okay to see mistakes because there's going to be improvements and stuff. But there's just a lot more respect towards them, and so in that regard, they're very scary. So now my comparison is that in C, they have a lot of very good teams. They're just like all extremely even. And again, I haven't watched that much C, so I guess I don't want to like be preaching gospel or stuff, but you know, relative to my years in C and everything, the fact that someone like TNC is not making it, like that was a little surprising. And like T1 is making it and stuff, but there's just a lot of very, very good teams all to a very similar level playing in the region right now. Like Boom, you know, Boom, that's a good team.
Yeah.
And they couldn't make it here as well, right? Like
where do you rank CIS in that? Is Virtus Pro more on the Secret side in terms of standing apart, or
yes, I think they stand apart.
All right.
Not as much as Secret.
But still, there's like a big gap there of like, VP is.
Oh yeah, they got a couple step stools happening. It's like when Clifford's standing at the window and his head is like way up here and over, and all you see is Grant's little fuzzy head. That's basically what happens to my house.
Yeah, I mean, buddy, I'm positive energy all the way. I want to see every player make it to this major. I want to see everybody stay safe. I hope no one gets sick and we just have a nice, drama-free, amazing Dota tournament, because like this, from Wildcard to playoffs, this is a stacked fucking tournament. Like this is legit. Mostly COVID's a big factor here. The first big land back, we all knew this would be hype, but this is outside of TI. This maybe is the most hype event we've ever had. The star power, the pent up, just I got to win the road to TI with only 2 majors instead of 3 in this weird circuit. So, like, these 2 majors are weighted. This is 50% of the season right here. Like, this is big. This is heavy.
Does it feel as hyped up? To me, it almost feels like a little bit like it's got that asterisk to it. It's like the NHL playoffs last year. It's like the COVID playoffs, you know? You're right. It is hyped in that regard, but
yeah, you're right.
I don't feel like it's whoever wins this is like the best team in the world.
I think
there's so many variables and so many things that shouldn't be happening and so many things that aren't up to our usual standard of competition that I'm not going to rank this major to the same pedigree that I've ranked other majors in the past.
Do you think some of it depends on the outcome? Like, I think that if every single player makes it and nobody gets sick, then I think this event will rank very highly.
Still not the same. No.
Why not? What's still missing at that point?
You don't have practice rooms.
Okay.
Don't have private personal practice rooms.
All right. All right. Yeah. No, so basically you land, you're still jet lagged and not feeling great, and then you don't get to practice
24 hours.
24 hours.
Or 48 hours
or
something stupid. Sorry, I shouldn't be assuming.
Basically, as soon as the quarantine ends, you jump on a computer, and will some teams have to play with actually 0 warm-up? Is that the rumor? Like, surely there's some sort of shared, like...
I have no idea.
You don't even get an hour to break up?
Surely they'll have some warm-up. There's no way someone's playing without ever getting a practice room.
But
I highly doubt
you don't get to play the night before. You don't get just that normal, like, hey, guys, let's go practice before bed.
Yeah, it's just not normal Dota. You know, you're not going out for the team dinner before. You're not, you don't have all your facilities. You just don't have your shit. You can't, bang out a jam session before, rocking out the bongos, sing some Kumbaya.
No slacks trying to make content.
All right, well, that's a plus. This only helps the players.
Fuck. Yeah, maybe you're right. I'm trying to be positive here, buddy. I got so much negativity right now.
It had to happen eventually anyway, and it's happening, and it is what it is. I don't know. My whole COVID experience is very different than I think globally, so I try not to put my perspective on it. I feel like...
Do you mean like good or bad?
It's just like where I live, everyone has sacrificed a lot, and that has helped a lot because we have no cases. We're in Nova Scotia, where I live, we quarantined, really, really fucking quarantined for 3 or 4 months. There were months where every park was closed. The only thing you were allowed to do was go out for walks on the sidewalk. My kid, on the first day of the quarantine, a cop rolled up because he was riding his bicycle for the first time on a school empty parking lot, and we were told we had to leave because that's school property. And it's COVID restrictions. It's that's how serious it was here. And so we did not have a lot of cases, and a lot of people lived because of that. And so to now be kind of half-assing a lot of openings around the world, to me, I would not be organizing an international video game tournament. But I get that my priorities are different and my view on it. I wasn't going to travel this tournament. Invited or not, I'm not traveling. It's not going to happen. So to me, it just feels a little globally irresponsible to do some stuff around the world. So I think it's just different for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I share some of that for sure. It's all relative, right? You got to work, and 5 months ago, let's say November, I would have flown anywhere just to get paid because a little lapse in between paychecks there. It was getting a little tight. We were getting into we're gonna have to cash in on some of these investments, sell some stocks here to make rent. That's never a good feeling, right?
Yeah.
But now that we've got, this is the American lens, right? But with the vaccine so close, I feel like we've been pretty diligent in our little household here. Maud's already vaccinated. We've been fairly careful. We've come this far. If I'm going to get the vaccine in the next 2 or 3 months, why risk it now when we're so close to this point of being able to responsibly move around for some of us? And I know not everyone's going to have access to vaccines on that schedule, so it's not 1-to-1, but for me personally, it feels we're so close. And that's kind of what I said earlier of it's an impossible target for Valve. They can't predict any of this shit, but it just seems damned if you do, damned if you don't. But I just
it doesn't
can't
matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how well Singapore's handled it, Nirmo and chat. It's totally irrelevant because in order to look how many fucking people you're bringing here, dude. from literally the entire planet.
Yeah,
that's what's so like you're creating like someone somewhere will die because we had this land. Someone's gonna sit closer to some other person on a plane, and that's inevitable. Someone's gonna die when you ride a car, that kind of shit. But like no, I don't mean spectators. Dog, do you know how many people play on a Dota team? We got like, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 85, 90, 95, 100, plus a coach for every team. So that's another 15 people. A manager for every team.
Substitute.
50, 60 production staff for PGL.
Yeah.
Talent added in there as well. They're all flying from separate places. They're all coming into one place.
That's why I can't get over the 48-hour thing. That is fun. All the others, I think the actual operations during the event, they've probably got it all locked down and planned. I actually believe that. It's the 48-hour quarantine that fucks it all up because it's like, just not enough time. I don't know.
Nothing changes. I mean, what changes after the 48 hours? I guess you're allowed in a practice room with your teammates. Yeah, that's true. But they also they're not allowed to leave their quarantine until they produce a negative test. Are you aware of that as well?
Yes.
Sorry, they have to produce consistent negative tests the entire time through the quarantine. They have to just get a bunch of them.
Yes. I mean, that is good, but it's still, I don't think that's foolproof.
I'm not comfortable with it. I'm just saying.
You're right. That is good. That's just not foolproof. What is better would be waiting at least 4 days or something. And then every additional day you wait, you're lowering that risk vector of those negatives being false negatives because it's still gestating. And it's just, we've just seen a wide variance in that if you look at all the different COVID cases. So it's just scary. I'm just scared for our players.
Archie, you look like such a fucking moron, dog. Americans are so unbelievably scared. Oh, he doesn't want chronic lung problems. Oh, someone's gonna die.
It reminds me
of the test takes 30 minutes. Dog, the test... Holy fuck. So, dog, I got to time you out, man. I've never timed you out, but you got to just please go read some literature and take this time. All right, bud? Just go take some time. Walk away from the computer. Go read some shit about the permanent damage you can get.
It's just not perfect. That's it's just one of those. It's a good step. Mass testing is good,
dog.
But it's not foolproof, and it just I don't know. We've come this far, right?
Yeah. Anyway.
It's all a
guys.
function of
don't
risk.
get COVID, please. There's you ever look and see these 40 obviously there's gonna be horror stories about everything, but there are people who were fucking marathon runners that can't walk upstairs now because they have it's called long haul COVID.
Long COVID, yeah.
And they don't know what's gonna happen, guys.
Yeah, new things are weird. I guess people throw that right back at you with the mRNA vaccine, but it's these. I don't know, that the long-term effects of COVID are pretty scary. I don't want to roll the dice on that one.
Yeah. Don't get COVID, guys. So, yeah, I'm good. I'm very excited for a vaccine. That will be fun.
Yeah. I mean, if this goes well, it does bode well for the next major and TI. In theory, it's more vaccines every day means all future events are have that much potential to be safer, all this kind of stuff. So this is the hardest one we got to get through. So if we can get through this one pretty unscathed, I'm going to breathe easy and feel way better for major number 2, potential for TI. Trent, I only got one more thing I want to fucking yell about, and I know you don't have the answer. Where are the team bundles?
Oh, I was going to yell about that too.
Where are the team bundles? Hello? A great distraction from all this COVID stuff and that stupid PR statement would be some team bundles for us to spend money on to support these teams going to the major that won't win any prize dollars. I mean,
I have a theory. Would you like to hear my theory?
Yes, I need one. I got no theories, dude.
They got delayed. Have you ever, Mr. Zyori, sir, have you ever sent a message to a player literally just trying to pay them money and they don't respond for months at a time? Literally, you're like, hello, sir.
Yes.
I would like to give you thousands of dollars from this tournament of ours you played in, but you're not answering my emails and I've sent you one on Twitter and you said you'd respond. How do you think Valve's doing getting a team back from every single team in the DPC? I imagine that there's a lot of those conversations happening. And so it got so delayed. Now, I'm not going to put all the pressure on the teams. I'm just saying that it's fairly likely that there were both teams and Valve's side having this problem. And it got so delayed that what was the point of releasing with 2 weeks left in the thing?
Can't you fix that by just setting a hard deadline? Like, isn't it all just workshop shit the same way that we got?
What the fuck are they gonna do? And this team just doesn't have a fan pack.
You just don't get your shit. It's just like the yearbook in high school, dog. All right, you want your information in the thing, you submit your paper by the date. Else they print the fucking book without your information, and they just put a big smiley face next to your name. That's what you get if you don't hit the. This is your chance to make money. You send a couple of warning letters and say, guys, if you don't get us this shit in the next 48 hours, you're going to miss out on the chance to get free money from people buying your shit. So do you want free money or not? And if you don't respond to that, I don't know what to tell you. Fuck them. You know, like I would rather that be the case than every team get fucked by not having anything out there. I mean, isn't that a nice little... Forgive me if I'm wrong, but that's the whole thing, right? It's like you buy the team bundle and some of the money goes to the team, right? So it's a way to... So like... 60% of the teams going to the major don't get any fucking prize pool. Wouldn't it be a nice way to support Thunder Predator if they bomb out and they have to risk COVID to fucking go there to at least be able to give them $5,000 in terms of these stupid in-game flags or whatever the fuck it is we're buying? I mean, come on. It's so many things, Trent. Why can't we just hit the layups? I'm not asking for 3-pointers here. Just nail the layups, dog.
They're maximizing the cash. They're gonna if you released those a month ago, they wouldn't sell as much.
They're
maximizing them right before the major. They're gonna sell way more if you bring them up before the major rather than dumping them 2 weeks before the first season ends.
So you think they're gonna drop them right before the major? You think we're gonna get the team bundles in like 5 days?
That is a Trent Packs guarantee.
You have insider information on that one?
No, I have zero insider information, but it's gonna be either the day before or 2 days before or something like that. The wild cards. And they'll just dump the fan bundles on us, and everyone will be like, "Oh!" And there'll be some like chest or something, or some pack to buy a whole region, or. You know, you buy so many team pennants and you can get a treasure chest. Like, come on, they're valving the shit out of this.
I hope so. I really, really hope so.
Think about what we're talking about here. We're talking about a giant initiative that takes a lot of Valve's effort. So what they're doing is, yes, they weren't even making money for the teams, but Valve wants a little bit of that cut. All this money flowing through.
A little bit.
They're going to add a little something extra.
Do we know what the cuts are for those, by the way? Does Valve get their 75
idea.
And then the teams get 25? Is that how it works?
There'll be some little courier that every time you buy a fan bundle, you have a chance of getting this courier, which is some little thing waving some flags or some thunder sticks while it delivers your items.
I'm too old for this shit, dude. I'm so zooted. What the fuck, man? Can we just get the team bundles, please? I just want to be able to support my team, please.
I want to put my team NP banner back up, please. Thank you.
Yeah. The pennants. I love those things, dude.
Oh, hey. I have something else to talk about, I guess, before we bail.
What do you got?
I've been having a lot of fun with these replays.
Oh yeah, the old replays, the old school, old client stuff.
So what happened was that I was just planning on streaming one day, and then I was just watching some random stuff, and I was maybe gonna play some Dota, and then Jeeves hosted me with like 1,000 people coming off the China game, so I felt some pressure, and I thought, well, now's the time. So I booted up one of the old clients. So I mean, you guys probably heard me talk about this before, but essentially, I scoured the internet. And I created what I'm calling my classic Dota project, at least on my desktop here. And so by utilizing a couple different Dota clients, I'm able to get replays working, at least currently, from TI2, TI3, TI4, TI5, and TI6.
Dang.
And I haven't started working on TI7 yet. And I don't even know what happens when you try TI8 replays and stuff yet. But the other ones shouldn't be as hard. I was mostly concerned about the long haul ones.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. So basically, if you want to do it yourself, there's some. I basically just kept Googling old Dota and Liquid Dota threads and Reddit threads. I don't have them all written down. I'm sorry, but I have this. What files do I have? I have some of the files. Yeah, I have like 6.84 WinZipped. I have 6.88F WinZipped. I have. I don't have 6.87C here, but I could probably find it somewhere on my computer.
Wow.
And then basically, if you do manage to get one of these things working, what you want to do is you find the match on Dota Buff, you take the match number, and then you go to Open Dota, and Open Dota has a download link where you can actually download the replay.
Oh, and then you just have to have the client that matches that
exactly.
Replay.
And then you drag it into the replay file there, and there you go.
Dude. God damn.
Yeah, so I at least have 6.88F like zip that I can send you, so we can definitely do a Wings Day. I can't decide what I'm going to do tomorrow. I think I might do the TI4 group stage. I kind of want to save a Wings Day after we've built up some steam with this. Maybe next week.
Dude.
Just watch Wings for like 8 hours straight. What do you guys think?
Oh my God,
That's
dude.
pretty hype to me.
That sounds like a fucking dream. That sounds like an ideal Thursday. Wow. God, I miss wings, dude. Those games were just buttery smooth.
They really were.
Fuck.
So in approximately 11 hours from now, I'll be live, and I'll stream some TI4 by the looks of it. So come by and see the TI4 that should have been remembered. The bubble. All right.
The first TI in Key Arena, man. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, the one that everyone just hates because of the finals.
Was that?
We're totally gonna watch the finals.
Was that China China
finals?
The
Alchemist. I think it was Alchemist finals, where it was just every game was just like a blowout, like a total stomp.
Yeah, I think I remember that. I don't think.
But
I
the
watched
group stage was hype. The group stage was actually hype. That's the thing people don't remember.
I remember that panel vividly. That's the Shiver Greg Ryu Borez panel. I had a front row seat. The way the venue was set up, they were like right where it was taped off for press, where you couldn't enter anymore. They were the first stop after the taped off area. So I spent most of my time just kind of watching that because it was all I could see from my little press vantage point. I got to see the powdering Greg in between every camera take. It's fantastic. Just caking it on.
That's the lyrical, dude.
Just keep caking it on. Yeah, well, that'll work. Yeah. It's a poor guy. Jesus.
Yeah, we get very familiar with the makeup team. Because every single time they run over, they go, bah, 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 and they look at me and they go, oh, you're good. And I just walk away. Literally for 8 hours straight, I don't get anything.
You're
no
natural.
touch up whatsoever. Yeah, game. They're like emptying. They're shaking the whole container out onto a cloth. They do everything they can. Yeah. Takes a lot of effort.
All right. Well, buddy, until next time then. Next podcast, we'll get to review the major. I think it'll be done or just about wrapping up. So, no, it'll be like halfway through 2 weeks from now. So still some time, but a lot to look forward to. Enjoy your time off. The next season of DPC league-wise starts in about a month's time. So those 4 weeks are going to fly by with the major in between. Teams get back from this event, they get a week off, and then it's right back into league play again. So no worries, folks. Competitive Dota is coming on back. But until next time, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. That was fun.